Did you know that by the year 2050, there could be more plastic in the ocean than there are fish? Or that part of the Pacific Ocean has 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic in it? Well, that's all true, and here's why. It all started in 1997 when a large cargo ship was carrying over 80,000 pairs of Nike shoes. The ship was suddenly caught in a storm and the shoes fell into the Pacific, ultimately starting what's now called the Pacific Garbage Patch. The large floating pile of plastic works like a magnet, just attracting more and more plastic. By 2016, the patch had increased to be 2 times the size of Texas. But the Nike shoe incident wasn't the only thing that contributes to the patch. Every year, 8 million metric tons of trash enters from the land to the coast. The Pacific isn't the only place that gets our plastic waste. As most of it will get trapped in the Pacific Garbage Patch, the rest will go around in an odd circular current pattern and then head down to the North Pole. It causes harm to sea animals like seals and penguins. As most of us are responsible enough to recycle our trash, we may not actually be doing as good of a job as we think we are. When the garbage truck picks up the recycling bin, there's no doubt that the plastic's gonna get in the truck, but what if I told you that it can easily fly out? Once the garbage truck gets on a main road and is going fast, the light plastics can easily blow away and end up going down a sewer or a drain and go down to the ocean. It may not seem like a big deal for a couple of bags to end up in the ocean, but over time it starts to become a big problem. One company called Ocean Cleanup came up with the great idea to solve this problem. Their idea was to get a large floating device to catch plastic in the ocean. It was very expensive, but with the help of donations, they got it to happen. It works by trapping floating plastics and moving with the current to make sure no plastic can get away. It has a 7-foot extension on the bottom to make sure the plastic doesn't go underneath, but still allows fish and other sea animals to pass by. Thanks to this company, every 5 years 50% of the plastic will be out of the ocean, but until then, we are still dealing with the everyday problems of plastic pollution. Did you know 91% of plastics are not recycled? Plastic uses as much fossil fuel as airlines. 99% of plastic causes climate change, ultimately affecting us. We are eating plastic, we're drinking plastic, and most importantly, we're breathing plastic. But where's all this plastic coming from? Well, half of our world's plastic comes from Asia, and about half of that ends up here in the Pacific Garbage Patch. As of right now, one of the biggest threats to marine animals are microplastics. Microplastics are pieces of plastic that are smaller than 5 millimeters. Some of them are used in things like toothpaste and cosmetics, but most of them result from floating waste that's constantly exposed to UV radiation and crumbles into smaller and smaller pieces. 51 trillion of them are now floating in the ocean, where they are even easier swallowed by marine animals. The Pacific Garbage Patch has 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic in it. That's equivalent to 250 pieces per person on Earth. The ocean has 165 million tons of plastic in it. 85,000 of those come from the Pacific Garbage Patch.